So recently here in San Diego, we had some unprecedented flooding all over San Diego. And our hearts go out to everyone that had flooding happen. I've got pictures and footage and seen where houses got flooded by 4 feet of water or more. Now, as you speak about flooding and water entering a house from the outside, there are some things that are important to note. When you have a normal plumbing leak from water in a pipe, this is clean water, and usually you're not going to have any problems with sewage or growth besides normal mold growth that might occur 14 to 20 days after the water event happens. But with flooding from the outside, you're carrying mud, you're carrying bacteria, you're carrying all sorts of stuff into the house. And so sometimes people might think, hey, it flooded, but my paint's not bubbling, my floor feels dry, and so I think I'm good. Well, it's important to note that wasn't clean water that came into your house. So you're going to want to make sure that it's all the way dried out and that you're able to check that with moisture sensing equipment. And you're also going to want to make sure that all those areas that received that water are basically sterilized so that you don't have any health issues that come out of having this dirty water run through your house. So sometimes flooding doesn't happen because of a big flood like we just had in San Diego. Sometimes we get flooding issues because of how we're addressing maintenance issues with our property, or how we're addressing landscaping issues. So some of those things that we can do to prevent flooding in a normal rain situation is clean the gutters, make sure that we maintain our roofs, and then in the landscaping area we want to make sure that there is a grade away from the house when in regards to the landscape around our place, as well as concrete. So if you have where your house is here and the landscape is coming towards you, that's just kind of asking for a flood. And it's not often that happens, but lots of times there will be a spot where we put a flower bed or we put something and we don't think about the fact that we're grading towards the house. So do a quick walk around your house, make sure that your grading is all graded away. The other thing that can happen is drainage. So you might have it properly graded, but there's still so much water accumulating on your property that the water is still going up and attempting to enter the house. And so what I would suggest there is that you add drainage. And so usually when we do drainage for something, we want to put in a French drain or something where you've got rocks that are around a perforated pipe that runs from a high area to a low area, where the rocks and the perforated pipe allow water to enter but not to exit, and then they drain it off to a place far away. And I've seen that Uplift Property Management, when they do their inspections, are pretty good at finding those issues before they cause damage to your house. So in San Diego, it's rare that we have a flood event like this, but it's a lot more common that we have piping issues in San Diego, where a waste pipe or a supply pipe springs a leak, and where you didn't have water, all of a sudden now you do. Sometimes that's slow and sometimes that's quick. Now, there are mold spores everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are, there's a certain amount of mold spores that are in the air. And they need 2 things to grow. One is moisture and one is food. And they eat organic materials as food. So the reason why lots of times you see mold growing on drywall is because the front of drywall is covered in paper. And so what happens is your drywall gets wet, it sits there for a long enough time, a mold spore attaches to the drywall and starts eating the paper, using that moisture that's in there as fuel as well. And so one of the things that we want to make sure when we have a flood, whether that's a big flood or a small flood, is that we want to take care of that in under 2 weeks. If you think, oh, I've got a little bit of moisture, it's probably going to go away in a couple weeks, don't wait, because it might be that you have a mold issue forming very soon. Okay, so you just had a flood. Maybe it was rain and it came in from the bottom, maybe it was plumbing and it came in from the top or the side, but you have had an issue and you want to make an insurance claim. Let me give you some advice. Before you call that 1-800 number on the back of your insurance card, call your insurance agent. Once you call the insurance claims number, they will mark that against your house, whether it ends up being a supported claim or a denied claim. So first step is call your agent, let them know what happened, and ask them if you're covered and whether you should call to make a claim or not. Once you've talked to them, then call us at Fast Affordable Restoration. Now, one of the things that you'll find is that when you call that line to make a claim, they will offer to send someone out to take care of your house. Well, let me tell you, the people that they send out don't necessarily report to you, they report to the insurance company. When we come and take care of you, we report to you, and we're going to fight the insurance company to make sure that you get the most out of your claim. Another important piece of making an insurance claim is documenting what happened. If you had a pipe leak and the plumber comes, keep that piece of pipe with the hole in it. Take pictures of the damage as soon as you see it, and at its worst and at its best. You want to make sure that at the end of the day, you can document everything that happened and prove to the insurance what they owe you for your losses.